Okay, just after finishing with session number 6 of our skill acquisition. Um, so pretty much the same as previous weeks. Arrived at the ground, plenty of time to set up. We didn't want to waste any of the players' time. Um, we found our section of the pitch, made sure that we weren't encroaching on anyone else's space while any other sessions were going on. Had our meeting to decide what we were focusing on again. Making sure that we had our videos set up and ready to go if the players needed them. So in our running block this week, what we focused on was the acceleration drills, and then the drop step as well. So the drop step was nearly aimed at kind of centre halves when the ball's going back over their head, making sure that they have to chase the ball, just getting that turn in, and then that coupled with the acceleration, getting the first 5-10 yards of a sprint in was quite good. We then introduced a new skill, so it was the charisma. So that's where the first touch is going to be a chop. The chop is a skill that we've already had a look at, and then it's an outside of the foot shot. So this was again focused at kind of mainly nearly wingers and attacking players. We then went on to a Zizou, so similar to what we've done before, a pirouette, then a Cruyff turn and a non-dominant foot pass, and then the Fat Ronaldo, so with the pirouette, again similar to the in the Zizou, a step over and a curl shot or a pass. With the acceleration drills, this linked into one of the previous weeks. I think it was week 2, where we did the change of speed. So we're just focusing on that acceleration. And what we did for that was use the wall acceleration drill, making sure we're in that correct body position, getting the toe dorsiflex, the knee to 90 degrees with the hip, and the correct posture with that as well. That fell into something similar to the falling starts as well, so really driving home that position when we are accelerating. Then, having done that, we went on to the drop step. So this was, again, as I said, mainly for the use of centre halves. If a ball does go over their head and they have to run and chase it, so they're kind of quicker in their turn. We then kind of linked the two of those elements together, so the drop step with a little bit of an acceleration, so like a 5 or a 10 yard acceleration after that, so making it more realistic into a game. From a learning aspect of a centre half, with that, it's just we made sure that they have to kind of turn off both sides, so rather than if a ball goes over their head that they're constantly turning with their right shoulder going back, that they were doing it off both sides just to have a little bit of a balance in there. Then the acceleration to try and chase down the attacker or chase down the ball, cover it back to the goalkeeper. Moving on to the football block then, with the charisma, because it was that new skill again, where the first touch is a chop, so the ball is played in from kind of behind you, along the ground, then the first touch is a chop. We went with that skill by itself. So first touch was a chop, make sure that the players were getting that, that they were comfortable with it, getting the right kind of angle on their first touch so they could go into that outside of the foot shot. We then just went at the outside of the foot shot, which is quite a difficult skill to master. So at the start we were making sure that the athletes were hitting the ball with the correct part of their foot, not really focusing on the outcome of where the shot went, just making sure that the shot did connect correctly with the ball. Then linking up the two skills together, so the first touch being a chop, both off left and right, and then the outside of the foot shot. Again, we weren't focusing on exactly where the shot was going to end up, just making sure that we had the scale correctly and the body position was correct on that as well, so everything was working well. Going on to the Zizou then, again, just really, again for this one, because we've done it a few times before, making sure that all the elements of the skill were being done correctly. We were able to do it off both the left and the right side, both left and right foot, so dominant and less dominant or anything like that. Should have been done with the, if it was done with the less dominant foot at the start, so you would then go into a dominant foot pass, just so we have that nice little bit of balance between dominant and less dominant. Again, similar to previous weeks, where it's going to bring an element of surprise to an opposition. Similar again with the Fat Ronaldo that we did, so the pirouette, the step over and the curl shot, or a pass or a driven shot or anything like that. Basically making sure that there is balance between the left and the right sides. That it would, the aim of it is to create that little half yard or the yard to get your head up, have a look for a pass, have a look, see if there's a shot on, or give yourself a little bit of time to choose your shot. So if it's a curled shot, if it's a driven shot, outside of the foot shot as well, that we reintroduced there tonight. So again on that, because we brought in the new skill with the charisma, the video delay was important on that. Because some of the athletes were finding that their first touch wasn't exactly 100% at the start, which is understandable because it's a new skill. But then, similar to previous weeks, when we showed the video delay, they were able to kind of figure it out themselves and then move forward from that. So they at the end of the session, they did have the skill down. Certainly an awful lot better than what they had at the start.